It has been an explosive start to the year, with Keir Starmer caught in a political firestorm over the Oldham grooming gang scandal. While the Labour leader enjoys his holiday, the backlash has been unrelenting, with critics from all corners, from the Tory benches to social media titan Elon Musk, demanding answers for his past actions as Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP. Before we get into today's video, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Just a quick one to say we do have t-shirts available on our website. We have stuck Farmer and Make Britain Great Again ones. Make sure you check the link in the description or go to britishstand.com. The uproar centres on the horrific crimes committed by grooming gangs in Oldham, where young girls suffered unimaginable abuse. Despite the gravity of the situation, Starmer appears determined to downplay the issue, with critics accusing him of prioritising political optics over justice. As revelations of governmental failures continue to emerge, the anger among victims and the public grows louder. This scandal gained renewed attention after GB News reported that the government rejected calls for a Home Office-led inquiry into historic child abuse in Oldham. Shadow Safeguarding Minister Jess Phillips's response, that it was a matter for local councils, has only inflamed the situation, with many viewing it as a deliberate attempt to shift responsibility. Billionaire Elon Musk has not minced words, taking to his social media platform X to lambast Starmer's tenure as DPP. Musk has accused Starmer of turning a blind eye to the exploitation of young girls by grooming gangs, claiming that his failure to act decisively allowed perpetrators to evade justice. Musk's posts have intensified calls for accountability, even going so far as to demand the release of far-right activist Tommy Robinson, while advocating for Phillips' imprisonment for her perceived inaction. Kemi Badenoch, a prominent Tory MP, has joined the chorus of criticism, demanding a national inquiry into child exploitation. She insists that 2025 must be the year when victims finally receive justice. Nigel Farage, too, has entered the debate, pointing out that successive Conservative governments have also failed to address this issue adequately, proving that this is not a problem exclusive to Labour, but a systemic failure across the political spectrum. Yet, it is Starmer who bears the brunt of the criticism. As DPP, he oversaw crucial reforms aimed at handling child sex abuse cases, but his detractors argue these efforts were too little, too late. Musk's posts have specifically highlighted Starmer's role during this period, painting a damning picture of complacency and neglect. Labour's response to the growing scandal has been one of deflection. A party spokesperson emphasised their support for the 2022 national inquiry into child abuse and independent reviews in areas like Telford, Rotherham and Greater Manchester. However, this has done little to assuage concerns that Starmer's leadership lacks the moral courage to tackle such heinous crimes head-on. Critics argue that Labour's refusal to back a public inquiry in Oldham, citing logistical and jurisdictional reasons, only reinforces the perception that the party is unwilling to confront its past mistakes. As Musk's rhetoric gains traction and public trust in Labour continues to wane, the party risks losing its already fragile credibility. A recent YouGov poll paints a grim picture for Labour. Only 12% of respondents believe the party has been successful, while terms like incompetent and dishonest dominate public sentiment. This crisis could not have come at a worse time for Starmer, who is struggling to solidify his position as a credible alternative to the Conservatives. The grooming gang scandal is not just a challenge for Labour, it is a litmus test for the entire political establishment. Victims and their families deserve more than political posturing. They deserve justice. Starmer's unwillingness to commit to a full inquiry in Oldham not only undermines his leadership, but also raises serious questions about his fitness to lead the nation. The calls for accountability will not fade. If Labour continues to prioritise damage control over meaningful action, it risks being swept away by a wave of public outrage. Starmer may hope to bury this story, but it is clear that the victims and their advocates will not let it rest until justice is served. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. In other news, a former primary school head teacher who referred to a pupil as a fat slug has dodged a ban from teaching. Nicola Brogan, who was head of Woodland Community Primary School in Haywood in Greater Manchester between September 2011 and December 2019, made derogatory remarks about staff, pupils, and a parent. A teaching regulation agency, TRA, disciplinary panel found that Brogan referred to one pupil as a wimp and another as having no personality. The former head teacher also used the term Captain Camp about a male member of staff in reference to his sexuality. Other comments included calling a teaching assistant a fat cow and claiming another member of staff, who was late for a meeting, wouldn't need an inhaler if she wasn't so fat. She also described one pupil as a wimp and said another, "Annoys the fuck out of me. He has no personality." The panel said the conduct of Brogan, which concerned abusive and inappropriate comments about staff, pupils, and a parent, was very serious. A panel also found she inappropriately joked with a teacher about whether they would have sex with an Ofsted inspector in return for an outstanding rating. She was also inconsistent and moody in her dealings with staff and shouted at them inappropriately in her office on at least 2 occasions, reports The Telegraph. The TRA report said, "The working culture at the school at the material time was at times negative and hostile. Some pupils and some staff members were clearly not always treated with respect by Mrs. Brogan." The panel concluded that Brogan's actions amounted to unacceptable professional conduct, but it said that not recommending a prohibition order was a proportionate and appropriate response. Ruling on behalf of the Education Secretary, Sarah Buxey said that the panel was led to believe that Brogan had worked for many years at the school without complaints prior to the allegations which came to light in November 2019. She wrote, "I have also placed considerable weight on the finding of the panel that the panel also considered that, given her experience and prior good service, there was every prospect that Mrs. Brogan would be able to make a contribution to the education profession in the future. I have given weight in my consideration of sanction, therefore, to the contribution that Mrs. Brogan has made to the profession. For these reasons, I have concluded that a prohibition order is not proportionate or in the public interest." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. I want to quickly say thank you for all the recent support on the channel. We are growing really fast and are now getting closer to our goal of 200,000 subscribers. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.